what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
And we are live. Greetings to our loyal WFYL listeners around the world. Welcome back to your Philadelphia live stream, only on the Freedom Station. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in once again, because you still have the right to hear and the right to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike G. As always, with me are Philly Chris, Russ the producer, and Liberty Lee. And you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters. And you can listen to our program every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So let's be heard. I want to remind our listeners that you can participate in the free and open exchange of thoughts and ideas throughout the entire week by visiting MikeGinTheMorning.com. What's it called, Philly Chris?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
How about you, Russ?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
Liberty?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
You can check out all the shenanigans that Mike G and Philly Chris are up to. I'm sure you caught that video last night of Philly Chris on location in North Philadelphia. The armed security guards who are finally fighting back. We're going to have them on the program later today. But check us out in all of our social media profiles. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your barber, tell your Uncle Jerry, tell anybody who listen to check us out at MikeGinTheMorning.com. I also want to remind our listeners about the Powerhouse lineup we've got here at the Freedom Station. Kick off your mornings with Scott Adams. Bring you the Scott Adams Show weekdays from 9 a.m. until 11. We've got the one and only Dan the Man Bongino. Bring you the Dan Bongino Show weekdays from noon until 3 p.m. We've got the headliner, intellectual giant Ben Shapiro, bringing you the Ben Shapiro Show weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. And finally, we love having him at the Freedom Station family. We've got Michael Knowles, bringing you the Michael Knowles Show weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. So don't forget to tune in and show him some love. And with that, you know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hit it, Russ.
You know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
So we've got all sorts of interesting things in the news these days. Lots of different things popping up. And one that has been reaching our television screens, reaching our computer screens on a regular basis right here in the greater Philadelphia area. We've got North Philadelphia. They're finally fighting back against crime. You've got private armed security standing outside at a gas station, and it's causing quite a bit of buzz going on out there. I want to give a little bit of a shout out to the Mike G in the Morning family, our loyal listeners checking in. I see Rita. Hey now, Rita. Hey now. I see DeFinland out there. Hey now, Mike G Nation. I like to say the Mike G in the Morning family, but I kind of like Mike G Nation. DeFinland. Hey now. Dag Nabbit checking in. Give you a hey now. Hey now. Scott Frey saying hey now. Scott, thanks for joining the program last week. Excellent stuff. He says, the Mike G Nation, love it. Love it, defend. I thought you said love it, defend it. That might be the new slogan. I misread that, but I think we stumbled upon something that's pretty good. The Mike G Nation, love it, defend it. Scott, hey now. So we're going to have live on location, from what I understand, the armed security over at that North Philly gas station. As we're all aware, there have been terrible things going on in Philadelphia for quite some time at this point.
I'm trying to get him on now, Mike, just so you know. We're working through the StreamYard stuff. I'll be right back with you.
Okay, sounds good. But it's about time that somebody stands up to this. You know, you've heard these complaints. People going out there saying, well, you got people with guns out there standing out there. Well, would you be more inclined to have people getting robbed, innocent people who are just trying to pump their own gas or get something from a convenience store, and be attacked by these dangerous criminals? Or what else are you going to do? Because if you've got another possible solution, I'm all ears. But to have somebody there who's going to defend the safety, the well-being of these patrons, and business owners got to be able to stay open. We've heard reports that Wawa is closing several locations in Philadelphia simply because they can't deter the crime, and it's not worth it for them to stay open. And it's frankly an issue of safety at this point. So this business owner decided that he was going to do something about it, and rather than just sit there and take it, because obviously the government is not able to help them, the government is not able to keep them safe. So rather than just sit there or go out of business or allow more people to get violently attacked, to have armed security there. I'm really looking forward to speaking to this gentleman and hearing more about what they're doing out there, because some people have gone about it as if it's a bad thing. And I think that's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And Chris, we got you. Chris is still being the IT department over here.
Yeah, he's we're trying it on somebody else's phone on the location. I just sent him the link, so hopefully they'll be able to patch in a moment. There we go. All right, awesome.
No audio yet?
Hey,
Detective,
how are you?
we got you.
I don't have audio.
Well, you're on the air. We can certainly hear you.
No audio.
Oh no!
Why we don't have audio?
The fun of doing a live show
on the air. Maybe we can. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll put him on the green room, so to speak. We'll let him get that figured out. And Detective, when you can hear us, just give us a thumbs up. And when you are you able to hear us? Just give us a thumbs up, and we'll bring you into the stream, because we certainly have a video feed. Chris, are you still online with him?
Nope, he's off of there on a different phone, I believe. So
okay.
Yep.
All right. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Detective? No, he can't hear us.
Yeah, I'll put.
Okay. While he's figuring that out. So what made you go down there, Philly Chris?
Well, it's pretty interesting to see some of the things in the area that hit national news, and this was another unfortunate situation, I guess I would say, that has gone national, that we're seeing reported across the country. I even had some friends up in New England reach out to me, and they were like, hey, what's going on with this gas station over in North Philly? So I looked into it a little bit and decided to go over there and see if I couldn't talk to some folks on the ground and find out for the show and for ourselves what was going on, and spent a little time over there. And there was a gentleman by the name of CJ on site working for Andre, and then I talked to him for a bit, and he actually put me in touch with Andre, and he stopped by and we had a good conversation. That's when we made the video last night. So, and had an opportunity to talk to the manager there at the gas station. So yeah, wild stuff going on.
Let's see. Detective, can you hear us?
We can't hardly hear you.
Okay. You can hardly hear us. I wonder if that's something that we can figure out on. I don't know if that's something that would be on our end. We don't typically have issues with.
Well, I'm trying to get you on my speaker. Hold on. I'm trying to find where that works out here.
Yeah, thanks.
Sounds good. We will bear with you, because we're looking forward to speaking with you.
Absolutely. Doing a live show here. Good stuff.
The Finland makes a good point here. It says make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. That's important for all the Mike G and the Mine listeners. For the Mike G
live from North Philly, though.
Yeah. Have him here in a minute.
I'm not understanding this.
Live from North Philly for sure.
You going to log off? All right. You're not on there. No. You see them? No. Yeah, you should be looking like that.
We've got nothing yet.
The man himself?
And, no. Whatever reason, this is not working, and I don't understand why not.
Problem with doing a live show, right?
You can't get the audio.
A little technical difficulty. Can you hear us at all? Can you hear us any better now?
Yeah.
This will not allow me to do speakerphone for some reason.
Maybe unplug the earphones.
What kind? I wonder what kind of phone they have.
If I did.
Yeah, unplug the earphones. Usually that'll do it.
I did this. You can hear me.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
No, we got site security live on the show in North Philly.
Still not coming up.
Just working through some technical issues here. Hopefully we'll get them up and running.
I'm gonna back out and I'm gonna come back in.
Okay, yeah, let's try that, and maybe unplug the earphones. Yeah, that could be it.
That
You
works.
never know with this stuff, you know.
All right. All right. So that was a great interview that you got with him last night.
Oh, thank you.
And what do you know? Nobody got robbed last night while he was standing out there, right?
You know, it was interesting being there, and I was talking to some of the customers, and you know, a lot of customers were also just saying thanks to them because they felt more comfortable.
I got it.
You got it?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you see
Andre,
me?
can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Fantastic. Welcome to the show.
We can see you. Look great.
All right. All right.
So, Andre, thanks for us. We really appreciate you joining us, and we really appreciate you talking to Philly Chris last night. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how this all started?
Well, basically, this all got started when Mr. Patel's gas station got robbed. They came in here with a van and stole 2 Mac machines full of money, and it got worse. He then confronted the drug dealers that were trying to take over his gas station, and that's when he said enough is enough. He couldn't get any help from the police department, and so I offered my services and told him what I could do. And we're at this point right now. He's happy. As you can see, this is the gas station. There's no drug dealers or anybody hanging out.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good down there, and it was nice and peaceful last night.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have lost Mike there for a second, but I'll
so far nobody's tried to rob the place with.
Yeah.
How did you
so
get?
Nobody's trying to rob the thing around here, apparently.
Much safer these days, right? Oh, it's a lot safer, and and the people love us now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just, my phone is constantly being blown up, and I'm getting calls not only from here in Philadelphia, Kentucky, believe this or not, Hawaii.
Really?
Yes, Hawaii.
Wow.
People like, yo, keep up the good work. You know, This is awesome. Yo, I've never seen so much support. I'm just blown away. Yeah,
well, I really appreciate you taking the time to, talk to me last night and fill me in a little bit on the situation, and also speak to the manager, Mr. Patel, and I was really impressed with how many customers were interacting with you and thanking you guys, and really appreciate you being there, because you are creating a safe environment. It's just, I love Philadelphia. I go by Philly Chris on the show, and I'm just torn apart, to see our great city of brotherly love and all the history and background that Philadelphia brings to the United States, to see what's happening in our inner cities, and tell us a little bit more about how you got started in like law enforcement and your background a little bit, if you don't mind.
Well, my background, I started out in the Department of Corrections, and went from the Department of Corrections to the police department, and did 21 years as a law enforcement officer in the Philadelphia Police Department. And in the private sector, I wanted to help people, have purpose and have meaning in what I do, not just to get up in the morning and say, hey, I got a job.
Right. No, I could see how seriously you take it.
A lot of people have made this. A lot of people have made this an issue where they talk about whether the police's hands are tied by the government and by bureaucrats, and that's why they can't help people. There are a lot of whole different problems that they're throwing out there, but I think the bottom line is that guys like you being out there and being able to protect people when it is out of control is a good thing, and everybody should agree with it, don't you think?
Oh, I agree. It is a good thing. I mean, actually, the police departments should love us, because the simple fact that it's you have another tool in your pocket. That's how the police department should look at it, because we can handle this stuff while you're over there handling other stuff, and that's how the police department should look at it. They say, we don't have to come over here and babysit this parking lot, or this gas station because of the issues that's going on. They got guys over here who's doing it now. That will give the police department more manpower to do bigger and better things, like deal with the homicides that are in Philadelphia, which is what, 469 now, and well over 8,000 shootings. But
Why do you think that
that's
we've
not,
had such a bad violent crime problem? Why do you think we've had such a bad violent crime problem in Philadelphia lately?
well, a lot of people are going to get mad at me, but my dad say, always speak the truth, son, whether people love you or not.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
advice.
just going to say impeach DA Larry Krasner. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to be straightforward. And Larry, it's nothing bad, but you had 4 years, you did nothing. DA Krasner, you did nothing. Crime went up instead of down. Your door says prosecutor, not social worker. That's what a prosecutor does. He prosecutes. Okay? Now, it's not just him. I put a lot of the blame on Commissioner Outlaw. She's the new commissioner. She should have came in here, clean house. She should have cleaned her department, because there's people in her department that, from the head on down, that should not have been in the police department. She should have came here, cleaned house, and then talk to the community people. And not only the community people, but talk to the foot patrol officers. See, that's the thing people don't understand. You talk to your lieutenants, you talk to your sergeants, you talk to your captains, but they are not the ones in the trenches. You want to find out how to fight crime? The commissioner should be talking to the police officers. They're the ones, they're the foot soldiers, they're the ones out there battling the crime every day. But you got your higher ups, who some of them, I'm going to tell you right now, the most they've ever been on the street throughout their whole career, maybe a month, if that. Some of them have never made an arrest. They had a pair of handcuffs that they have never used throughout their whole career.
That's
And
crazy.
that's true. That's true. That's nothing made up.
How does that even happen? How do they?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike.
This city,
You're assessing somebody's performance, some result. You'd criticize somebody if crime is rise and you're not seeing it getting any better. And like you said, it's nothing personal against the people, but the bottom line is you have a job to do and you have not done that job. We have not seen the results. Is that correct?
That's right. And let's not forget the mayor. Oh my God. Let's not forget, you had this job for 8 years. 8 years. And you did nothing.
Right.
And this is what makes me mad with the mayor. He had the nerve to say, oh my God, I can't wait until I leave office to become a regular person. Yo, buddy, if you're not up for the task, then step down and let somebody like me do the job.
Right.
So how dare you say during a shooting, oh, this is horrific. This city, I can't wait to be a regular person. Then why did you take the office?
It's a good point. Yeah. I mean, that really sounds
like somebody who's got their heart and soul into that.
And I want to say this, and I know I'm going to get chewed out for it, but, you know, like my daddy say the truth. Every city council member that resigned to run for mayor, citizens of Philadelphia, if you vote for them, you are stupid and you do not care about life, liberty, and justice for your city. They too had 8 years to clean this mess up.
Right.
Do you think by making them mayor, they're going to clean it up? No. Let's use this. Put someone in office who cares about the citizens and is going to do something about the crime day one. Not talk about it, not throw out some kumbaya stories, but actually take action.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, how does it even go on this long?
Yeah, why do you think the people of Philadelphia keep voting this way, though? When they see these poor results, why do you think the people of Philadelphia keep voting this way?
Because there's money being thrown at them. There's money being thrown at them. Philadelphia gets $60 million in program money for violent crimes. You know that money is being used. It's being thrown away frivolously. Give it to my program where we could put more people on the street, where we could put more people at businesses that will protect these businesses and free police officers up to really handle more crime in the street. stop the crime in the street. But instead, you want to give $50,000 to a t-shirt, to a program, kids making t-shirts, kids playing soccer. Oh, here's one. City of Philadelphia found surplus money, $2 million. Half that $2 million, they said, oh, we're going to put a swimming pool in for the kids for the summer. How does that stop gun violence and crime? It doesn't. That should be our number one issue. All our money for every program, it should be targeted to crime. It should be targeted to, hey, I already know how to clean up kids in the ass. We got the facilities to do it. On the outskirts of the city of Philadelphia, we can build us a facility, a 2-year holding facility. And see, because a drug addict will not 302 themselves or go into a facility and stay in a facility. But back in the day, when the officer stopped that drug addict and he had a crack pipe, that officer locked that individual up for that crack pipe. That individual did 2 years in jail, and guess what? That individual was off of drugs. But when you allow them to self-treat themselves, it's not going to happen. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse. But if you put them in you force them in a 2-year facility, they will get clean. And you won't have them walking all over the city or clouding up and sleeping on the streets. That is what has to be. You have to come up with an idea to say, okay, we have to force these people to be in a treatment program.
Do you think that these drug addicts, the drugs is such a problem?
Oh, the drug.
Do you think the drugs are such a problem? And if they need drug money and they obviously don't have stable jobs, if they're drug addicts, do they tend to commit violent crimes to try to get a hold of that money and rob other people?
Yes, they do. But here's the thing about it here in Philadelphia. They're allowed to go in these stores. They'll go into Wawa, jump over the counter, grab stuff, walk out, and the security that's there, we're not security, by the way, but their security will say, hey, okay, I'm going to call police on you. And they'll come back the next day and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no accountability. There's no accountability.
So let me ask you this. You said you're not security. I think that's an interesting point. How would you describe yourself if not security? Educate us.
We are protectors. We're paid to protect liberty, life, and property. That's what we do. We're protectors. We're not security. We do security details, but we protect life, liberty, and property. So someone comes on this property, wants to steal, vandalize, we lock them up. We have that power and authority. Rather than,
what do you think these criminals who have been doing this kind of stuff think when they see a guy like you?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Loud car in the background there, yeah.
Yeah, that car.
What do you think these? What do you think these criminals who have been doing these bad things think in their mind when they see guys like you standing out there? How do you think that impacts them?
Oh, they're not crazy. They're not going to try this gas station. Seriously, they're not. Mm-hmm. They're not. But if they do, I can promise you and assure you, I'm going to follow the law. And the law says that I can protect this property, whatever force necessary. And I'm going to do that because people need to know that they are safe and will not become a victim.
Yep, that's good.
It's about time that people stood up for themselves because people have become there. That's basically what a lot of the common society has become, are victims, because the violent crime is out of control. It's interesting that you seem like you very much care about freedom and people's rights and defending people. And in doing that, a lot of times we see these city council members, the mayor, and the DA even want to restrict the rights of law-abiding citizens and keep them from being able to get their hands on firearms to protect themselves. What do you think about that?
The city council members they've lost their minds here in Philadelphia. Here's a perfect case in point. They passed a bill telling Philadelphia Police Department that certain traffic stops could no longer be done by them. So if a police officer saw a person with a bad registration sticker, city council says, "Oh no, we passing the bill. You can't stop them for that." You know.
And why are they doing that? What is their reasoning? I mean, yeah.
Once again,
yeah,
catering to the criminals.
Right. There seems like there's a lot of that going on.
Well, if we do this, then they'll listen. Then they'll listen to us over here because we did that for them. No, that's not how it works. It's just like when we have a major gun shooting. A lot of the top legislators want to say, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to ban that rifle that guy used.
Mm-hmm.
That rifle is not the issue. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say it just like this. That rifle is not the issue, moron. I can lay that gun down here on the street right now. And guess what? That gun will not shoot, will not fire.
Right.
It is the person. And when legislators start thinking, and congressmen and judges start thinking, hey, it's not the gun. We're making these gun laws backwards. We need to go after the people. Hey, you got caught with the gun, lock you up. Throw away the K. You shouldn't have had that gun.
Right.
Not, okay, we're going to make more gun laws and restrict more citizens from protecting themselves from the criminal. That's why the criminals can run around the city doing what they're doing. They're walking around with the 9s and the ARs and guns bigger than mine, laughing, hey, I like that new gun law you passed. It ain't hurting me none because I'm still going to carry mine. Meanwhile, so Miss Brown.
Uh-oh. He's on fire there, damn it.
It's a meanwhile, Miss Brown and Miss Pittman sitting in their house. Oh, how am I going to defend myself when I can't get a license to carry? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There shouldn't even be a permit to carry in the city of Philadelphia. Everybody should be able to carry a gun. If you're sound-minded, you pass a psychological, because you don't want no nuts with the guns, and it's because you have a right to defend yourself. That was the Constitution. Mm-hmm. That was the Constitution. I mean,
right.
Think about it. Back in the days when the Cowboys and Indians, they didn't have this much homicide. I mean, this is crazy, and everybody could carry a gun. Everybody.
Right. Yeah, they kind of handled things on their own. You're right. Yeah, and we're sort of heading back that way, but been in a bad way, I think. Yeah, you know.
Here's the problem, though, Andre. Yeah. Here's the problem with the psychological part is if you let the government do that, you know who's in charge of the government right now. They look at guys like you and I like we're nuts, like we've got psychological problems, right?
Yeah.
It's you guys like guns. You're a bunch of gun nuts, so you don't make it. You're not qualified, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what they would say. That was exactly what they say. But they wouldn't look at the statistics and say, you know what? There hasn't been any robberies since he's been there in a month. There hasn't been any police radio calls to that spot or on that block.
Mm. Speaking of that, I noticed when I was there with you last night, I don't know if you want to get into this or not. I'm putting you on the spot, Andre, but the Philadelphia police stopped by last night. Were they just kind of stopping by to say hello or make sure everything was good? Or I don't know if you want to get into that or not. But
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
You know, like my dad say, speak the truth, you never have a problem.
Right.
Well, the Philadelphia Police Department, since I've been on television, national news about what we're doing here, they now wanted to try to attempt to arrest me, saying that I am a felon and I shouldn't be walking around with a shotgun or AR. And I said,
wow.
where are you guys getting that stuff from? He wouldn't say. And then he went further to say, he wanted to ask me, well, he did ask me. He said, do you mind showing me your your Act 235 license to carry.
Right.
And I told him, I said, have I committed a crime? No. Am I suspected of committing a crime? No. Do you think I'm going to commit a crime? No. I said, well, and I don't think I'm going to show you that. You are on private property.
Probable cause, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody knows the law.
And he knew he was wrong.
Mhm.
And then I told him, I said, did you have MPO training this year? He said, yeah. I said, you can't even ask me that. You know, in Philadelphia, people can walk down the street with long guns and the police can't stop them. A lot of people didn't know that.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And I told the
the Hicks
sergeant, I
case.
said,
We had arguments about this. Yeah.
I said, Sergeant, this isn't against you. I know you were sent here. If
Mhm.
you go back and you tell that idiot, that moron that sent you here, I said no.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, and I was close enough by I could hear of it. As I told you last night, I was trying to stay out of your business, but I appreciate you sharing that. I didn't want to share it without you doing it yourself.
Well,
but yeah, it was really interesting to see them. And here's what fascinates me about that. When I was talking to Mr. Patel the day that the ATM machine was stolen from inside of his business, and according to him, you correct me if I'm wrong at all, but he said they basically came in and announced, "Hey, we're going to rob you. Why don't you call the police?" And then they had a hand truck and literally loaded up the ATM and took off. And then I think the police took about 4 hours to respond. Right? Am I summarizing that correctly?
Correct.
They had time yesterday to come by and kind of give you a hard time, which I think is
and
pretty.
took their time.
Yeah,
the bad guys took their time. They didn't rush. Look at the video. They didn't rush.
Right.
They took their time.
Yeah. Well, they know that.
They weren't worried.
And nothing against the individual police officers, just to make it clear, like, and I know you said that too. You were a police officer. These guys are
Philadelphia police officers that do the job and do the job well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not them.
Right. Yeah, their hands are being tied. Yeah. Right.
It's their police commissioner. She's the one that's missing in action. She's the one that has to set the tone. The mayor, he's the one that has to set the tone. The district attorney's office, they're the one that has to set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
The cops, they're just a tool. They do as told. Now, here's the thing we got. We got curfew violation, a curfew here in Philadelphia. But guess what? That's a joke in itself because no cop is going to, you can look at the records, no cop is doing a curfew violation because it doesn't make any sense to do it. There's no accountability. You're just doing a bunch of paperwork for no reason. For no reason. Drop the kid off home, and then as soon as you drop the kid off, the kid is back out in the street an hour later. Mom and dad are not being held accountable. City council hasn't passed the bill. City council want to do something, pass the bill. Say, hey, mom and dad, there's going to be a $250,000 fine if your kid is caught outside after 10 o'clock curfew. And you're going to have to pay it installment payments to the city of Philadelphia. You want to see curfew enforced? Dad'll do it.
Right.
Mom will know, and dad'll know where Johnny is.
You keep referencing your dad very well and taught you good things. Do you think that there's been a breakdown in the family in this over the last several decades?
You can't put that on that. You know what? When I was a correction officer, I saw a lot of different types of people in the prison system. I saw people who had no mother and father, and they turned out, they made a mistake, and then they turned out to be really good. I know one guy, he went to prison. He robbed somebody. He did his time. He owns his own business now, and he teaches his kids the right way now. So there are people out here who learn from their mistakes, but not everybody learns from mistakes. And that's the thing that a lot of politicians have to understand. You can't kumbaya save everybody. Prisons were built for a purpose. You can't save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is not going to change. 85% of drug dealers who are drug dealers, they do it for the thrill. I've heard them say it. I know they do it for the thrill. They don't do it, well, you could get a job over here making $25 an hour. They don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to quit being a drug dealer.
That's interesting. It's kind of its own addiction, the adrenaline. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, right. That's interesting. Yeah.
Have you gotten calls from other places looking for you guys to protect them? Because I'm sure there's no shortage of places who could
We
use
got a
this kind
place
of
to.
stuff right now. It's not just that one gas station.
No, we got begged. This guy begged me. He said, just come by, just for a little bit, just for 2 hours, just for 2 hours, please. 33rd and Cecil B. Moore, the Sunoco gas station right there. We were there for 4 hours, and oh my God, yo, the drug dealers was like partying the Red Sea. Went inside. The juveniles that should have been in school, we kicked them out of the. We kicked them out. Told them to go home. Don't come back here. We now own this spot.
That's fascinating.
And it was fascinating to see the people. The people are blowing their horns. Yo, that touches my heart. Yo, people are waving. Yeah, take it back. Take back Philly. That's what they're saying. Take
Right.
back Philly, Chief.
That's good.
And that's awesome.
That's
That is
good.
awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Even CJ is such a nice guy, one of the guys working for you. And there was that woman who was having trouble with her battery. I put it in the video, and he went over and helped her. So, not only are you guys down there protecting people, but you're just being good local citizens in the community yourselves. And I think that's great. If we could all just come together. I mean, I'm fed up personally. I've talked about it a lot on the show of the divisiveness, the division, and the black and white and red and blue and this and that. It's like, come on already. Like we've talked about on the show, we're flying around on the same blue ball in outer space. Like we're really nowhere else to go. Can't we just get along? You said that on the show one time, Mike. It's like, come on already. And to me personally, I feel like a lot of the stuff's being done on purpose. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, Andre, but like you've been doing this a long time. You were a career officer and now you're doing it privately. And I mean, how do these decisions keep being made without they must know that, this is taking us in the wrong direction and the whole country just seems to be going south right now. I mean, it seems like it's by design,
It is.
Yeah.
It's funny you should say that, but it is. It's like the Matrix. Which pill are you going to take, the blue or the red?
Right. I mean, there's some truth in that, I think.
Yeah.
Seems like it, right? Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on now has been designed purposely to confuse the American people, to confuse citizens, to be against each other, uprising, everything. Instead of realizing, hey, we are all one.
Right.
All one. I remember when America was America. Baseball, hot dog, and apple pie.
Right.
We didn't care about all this crap. We loved one another, and we would have put our hands up when we heard the song of the national anthem. We were proud to hear that.
Right. That's right.
We understood what the 4th of July was. It wasn't just a day to eat barbecue. We understood what it was.
It's so true.
Now America is lost.
Yeah.
It is lost. But it's due to the citizens. Hold on.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, there were a lot of sirens when I was down there last night.
It's due to the citizens electing the wrong people into office. The people that they're electing into office do not have the citizens' well-being. It's not there. They don't care about them. That's not why they wanted to be in office. You need someone in office that's going to care for the citizens and care for the city.
Well, think about this. Before you guys showed up over there, would you be comfortable having a loved one, like your mother or your aunt or your niece, walk around in that area before you guys showed up over there? Would you feel comfortable with that?
No, I wouldn't. And actually, you saying this, my mom got hit by a car, a drunk driver, right here on the corner, and had to be and had to go to the hospital.
Oh wow!
But thank God she was okay. It was just a sprain, but and it was. And this is the part I like. The guy didn't get locked up. You know why? Because he wasn't drunk. He was high on marijuana. And Larry Krasner has already said, anybody in the city of Philadelphia, if you're high on marijuana and driving, he's not going to prosecute you. That's what he said. And he said it publicly. That came from your DA prosecutor.
Wow.
He is not going to
that's a
prosecute
problem.
anybody that's high on marijuana.
Have you ever considered running for office?
It's funny you say that. 3 people today said, if you run, we'll vote for you. Ah, that would be awesome.
Well, we have comments
I'll
over
tell you
here
this.
saying they want you to run for president.
No, that's too big of a shoes.
Andrew
too big.
Boyer
No,
for
no.
president. Look,
Those
it's in the
shoes are too
comments
big.
over here.
Those shoes are
Yeah, we got
way
some
too
good
big.
comments. Also, Defenland was like, when do these guys sleep? And I don't know. They seem to have a lot of energy. You guys were on top of everything and on your game yesterday. Yeah. Probably don't sleep, especially right now.
Yeah.
They're out there so we can sleep.
Eventually, I really hope that the general managers of Wawa hear this, see this, and will allow us to be there at their stores.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be a major turning point in the city of Philadelphia if that happened.
I love Wawa, and several of them down in Center City closed recently. Some locations that I would frequent, and they're gone. Yeah,
2 closed, and they made it publicly known why.
Mm-hmm. They did.
They said because of the crime.
I respect that.
The police could not. The police could not do anything about it, and they just shut it. They shut it down, and not only did they after they shut the 2 stores, then they said, okay, Wawa used to be 24 hours. Now they close at 11.
Right.
So, if you want to go get a sandwich at 12 o'clock, that's not going to happen. You want to get a cup of coffee, that's not going to happen. Not after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. No, I lived down in Center City for a while, and it's a totally different place now.
And it's sad that we as the citizens of the city have to be punished for what the criminals do instead of the other way around.
Right.
Like I said, there's no accountability for those guys. For us, we get punished for everything.
Mm-hmm.
We do what we pay our taxes. We do what we're supposed to do, but we still get punished. These guys, you got the keys to the city. Do what you want. I've never seen it this bad where a cop would sit in the street and let a criminal do donuts around his police car. That was so embarrassing. My heart dropped when I saw that. And it happened in Center City. The cop car sitting there, and this guy stopped floor traffic both ways to do huge donuts around the police car.
Wow. When was that?
Well, cops love donuts.
That was about 3 months ago.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, I guess Russ, you're right. Yeah, they like donuts.
Cop isn't going to pass up a good donut, right?
The old joke about cops and donuts.
You can't make this stuff up, folks.
Right.
And the good cops, they're afraid to work because they're afraid to get jammed up for doing the job.
Yeah.
That is one thing, is that police are certainly under a microscope today. It's certainly not a job that I would want to do, and there have been police who have done bad things. There's no 2 ways about that. But there's definitely some severe public scrutiny, and sometimes they get criticized for things unfairly, don't you think?
Yeah, but you got to blame that on the departments, because the departments knew the departments know who the bad apples are.
Right.
But they chose not to clean house. If you had a clean house in the beginning, you wouldn't have had all this problem going on now.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad when you got the bad guys in your own internal affairs. So, is there anything getting done when you got bad cops in internal affairs doing investigations on bad cops? That's funny.
It's almost like the gun ownership thing. And that because one person does something bad and everybody else gets punished. It's the same thing with when they make these gun laws. It's some crazy person or some evil person goes out there and does something bad, so they want to punish people like you and me, and it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. And I don't see how these guys who pass these laws don't get it. The light bulb doesn't come on. Like I say, once again, I can take my shotgun, lay it right here on this ground, and it won't bother nobody. It won't go off at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
never seen that happen. Never seen that one go on.
I just don't get why they won't grasp the idea. Stop passing laws to hurt the citizens, pass laws to help the citizens, and pass laws to put the criminals behind bars.
Right.
How many folks do you have on your team at this point?
Right now we have 24.
Wow.
I'm hoping by the end of January to get 50 more. I'm trying to get funding now from the bank, and if I get that funding, I'll be okay.
That would
I'll
be
be able to
great.
help. I'll be able to help a lot more people.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be.
great.
How do people hire you if they're interested in reaching out to you? How do they find you?
They already know. Go
Okay.
right to my webpage, Pennsylvania Sites Agents, and people have called me from all over. They have called me from all over.
Yeah, you were getting calls
Texas,
when I was with you last night.
Washington.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
And you're doing good
You know
stuff.
what though? You're getting rewarded for doing something good and doing something brave, and that, you know, I'm sure not a lot of people do that. I'm sure there are plenty of security agencies out there who would go out there and turn that kind of a job down, right?
Well, they wouldn't turn it down, but they wouldn't give it the justice that it needs. They would just put somebody there who's just going to stand there and allow somebody to walk in and steal the stuff and walk out and say, we're only allowed to call 911. We're not allowed to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard that in all my life, but this is what security companies do here in Philadelphia. They're told
Aren't you
just to
just
call,
wouldn't
call
that be
911.
Wouldn't you be, if you put yourself in that kind of a position, wouldn't you just be asking to get hurt or killed though?
Well, you know, the soldiers of the United States, they put their lives on the line every day for us. Why? Because they believe in this great country. So I believe in my great city.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not worried about you. I think that you can
and I'm
handle
talking
yourself.
about my guys too. My guys have the same. My guys feel the same way I do, and I can speak for those other people who are like me. Why they do this? It's the passion and the love to want to be there for the people and want to see this great city strive to be what it is.
Right.
This is supposed to be the city of brotherly love. It's become the city of brotherly death and chaos.
Don't you think that in reality, the folks who take the approach like you were just saying, though, the ones who say, oh, you know, pretty please don't hurt me, I'm just going to call the police and, you know, we're not going to do anything about it, aren't they in a more dangerous position than guys like you who are out there and, you know, are willing to protect yourselves?
There have been more security guards killed, shot, cut, stabbed who don't have what we have and become victims because they don't have what we have. If more security companies did arm their people, you would see a different in crime immediately. And I mean immediately. You would see it immediately.
Yeah.
The bad guys know who to test and who not to test.
Yep.
Philly Chris, I don't want to cut you off. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, no, I was just taking it all in, and I'm so thankful that you came on, and thanks for talking to me last night, and I was, my honor to meet you, and somebody who's out in the community doing the things you're doing, and your guys, Mike and I are around a lot. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said thank you guys for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you'll have to come back on sometime. Yeah.
Hey, we need to two things. Number one, we need to have you come out to a gun law seminar one of these times when I teach one. We would love to have you there. I'll put you on my guest list.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would love to. We'll make it a date. I would love to.
Yes.
Yeah.
You smoke cigars?
Hey, and how about this? 6 months from now, let's do an update and see how everything is right here.
100%. And let me tell you one more thing. If those police are bothering you again, you need to lawyer up and shut up and call me right away, okay?
You got it. I will. No, I will.
Hey, you feel free. I mean it. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Andre.
Thanks, Andre.
Good work.
Guys.
Peace.
God bless.
God bless. Yeah. Stay safe.
Wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I'm so glad you got him to come on. He's the man.
Yeah, I'm so glad it worked out, doing the stuff live and the whole, that the sound yard works out pretty well, but sometimes the first time people do it, you have to work through a few kinks, but I'm so glad he could make it.
Well worth the wait. Well worth the wait.
Oh yeah, and he's a man of his word. He said he would be here,
Russ will cut that out on the air tomorrow, so.
Yeah,
if you're hearing this, you're not even going to know what I'm talking about.
That's right. That's right. It never even really happened. So the magic of editing.
For those of us just tuning in, you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So we've got another guest with us from the gas station. We've got Clifford Hill.
Yes.
I'm going to let him in. And Philly Chris, why don't you kick this off?
Oh, sure. Hey, Clifford, how
Clifford,
are you?
thank you for joining
Thank you
us.
for joining us.
Hello, hi, good evening. How are you?
Good to have you here.
Good to have you here. It was.
Oh, I think we're getting a little.
I think we're getting a little bit of an echo or something.
Well, it's my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I was.
Wonder why we're getting the
Wonder
echo.
why we're getting the echo. What do you think we're on there, Russ?
We're getting some. Clifford, if turning down your audio.
Oh, that might be it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's sitting on.
Some.
Okay, how's that? Is that better? Is that better?
It sounds like.
Is it coming out of a second?
Audio source?
Second device or anything?
Is that better?
It sounds like it's coming out. Back into the microphone. Clifford, you sound a bit muffled. It might be using the wrong mic.
Maybe pick it up.
Maybe
it's reflecting off of whatever it's on.
I'm not very good with this
That's
technology.
okay. No, we'll try to work through it.
Give me 1 second. I want to see what I can do. Okay, is that better? Let me turn my medium volume.
We're still getting a little bit of an echo. Why don't we do this? I'll have you just kind of go ahead and talk and tell us about yourself and your organization. And you shared a lot of great things last night. So I'll let you kind of take the floor for a few minutes. That way we don't have the echo. So go right ahead, Clifford.
Let me try one more thing. Okay. I guess this is the best that I can do, guys. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
First of all, I want to say hello, neighbor. My name is Clifford Hill. I'm a member of Christian Compassion Baptist Church, and God bless you. Thank you for having us here. The name of my nonprofit organization is Wide Expectations, which is acronyms for Working with Youth Developing Entrepreneurship. It's interesting that I chimed in as you guys were talking to the guards from the gas station, because what I have to say kind of piggyback on why they're there. I used to live right behind that gas station on Clementine Street, the 1300 block of Clementine Street. At the time, I was working for a pawn shop. There were like robberies going around, snatch and grabs. They tried to kidnap one woman on South Street where I worked at to open up the jewelry store to rob the jewelry store.
Wow.
So the funny thing about that is one night they tried to kidnap me because I was a manager at the pawn shop. We dealt with a lot of high-end Rolexes, jewelry. We had Super Bowl rings, and they tried to kidnap me. And I was left laying in my bathroom with my son. I believe at the time he was 6 years old, because they were stabbing me, trying to get me into the van to kidnap me.
Wow.
So the problem that's going on with the city, with the violence, and the reason why those security guards are at that gas station, is because of the hopelessness that some of these people who are perpetrating these crimes feel in their lives because they're lacking something. So I'm the epitome of that. I could very easily be one of those people. I could very easily be in a jail cell. I could very easily be in a grave. I could very easily be one of those perpetrators who we see on the news. So that's why I founded this nonprofit organization, working with youth developing entrepreneurship, because these young people need a sense of hope. They need a sense of people caring for them, that there is still love in the world with all the hate that's going on. And they feel like they have no one to turn to.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe if something's not broken, you don't try to fix it. And I grew up and I seen the principle. As I said, I could be one of those people, but for some reason I'm not. And I can explain the reason why, and that's what this nonprofit is all about. As I said in the beginning, I was a member of Christian Compassion Baptist Church. Pastor Samuel E. Slaffy was the founder and pastor. If you will look at the solicitation letter that I gave you, Chris, you will see at the bottom it says, in memory of the First Lady, Sister Betty Mae Slaffy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but here.
These two individuals, they went out of their way with children of their own to see a young child. I was at the age of 10, living in a poverty situation. I had no running water. I had no electricity. Our neighbors would sell us water just so we can heat the water on a kerosene heater so that we can take a shower. We would literally take a cup and scoop feces out of the toilet and put it in the trash bag.
Wow.
We would take those trash bags out and put them on the street. Sometimes it'd be the summer, it'd be very hot, and the trash truck would come. And because there was urine and feces in those bags, when the machine compacted the bags, the urine and the feces would flow all down the street, and the stench was unbelievable. So I had to be ridiculed. I had to go to school with my peers, be laughed at because we were poor. The city would not take those bags anymore. So what we did, we in that little, what we would call a bandominium, we would throw the trash bags in the yard, and the trash bags mounted up so high that it elevated to the second floor roof and second floor window.
Wow.
So those are situations I lived in.
That's
so
amazing.
With that being said, something had to make a change for me not to turn into one of these predators, one of these criminals, drug dealer, or anything like that.
How close were you to going that direction?
Oh, I was very close. My house was what we called back then, it was a speakeasy. So predators would come into my house. They would smoke drugs. I don't know if you are familiar with the episode that happened with Richard Pryor when he was freebasing and it blew up in his face. I seen that at the age of 8 in my house.
Wow.
I was subject to molestation by these people that would come in to do drugs, to drink, to get high, and with no supervision, there was molestation attempted on me. So that happened to me as a young man. I'm pretty sure that it happened to some of the young women that live in the house. So I could have very easily turned and did some of these heinous things that's happening with these youth today. But something stopped me from doing that. And what it was the love of people who have never met me. They didn't know who I was. I was just a hungry, young, ghetto kid looking for something, looking for an answer. Because we was cold. We had no windows in our house. When it was cold outside, it was cold in our house. And there was no support. Like I said, our neighbors sold us water that they were getting for free. So I didn't have a lot of Christmases. I didn't have a lot of...
They wouldn't even give you the water?
No one would give us the water. There was no resources to get water. There was no social media. We didn't have a working telephone in the house. Like I said, we had no electricity. We had nothing.
When was this?
What
decade?
That was in 1983.
Okay.
I was around 9 to 10 years old.
Wow.
So I would always try to do little things to, make a little money, something. I would go and bag groceries in the local store. I would help people at the Acme with their bags to their cars and make 50 cents. I would shovel snow, had a paper route because we were hurting.
So you always were a bit of an entrepreneur inside.
Yeah, I guess that was one of the gifts that God had in me. I would agree with that, yes. And so something happened. Growing up in those environments, in that situation, there was around 10 of us living in the house. My cousin was in jail, and actually at one time she was quarantined in Fifth Street projects in South Philly because there was a big outbreak with hepatitis because of the sharing of the needles.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so my mother had to take on her 5 kids.
Okay.
So my mother had her 5 kids. She had my cousin's 5 kids. She had her own 4 kids, and then my sister had gotten pregnant, so she had those 2 kids.
Mm.
We're all in one house, no heat, no electricity, none of that.
Wow.
So I would have to do whatever I have to do. I love sports. I love music. And I couldn't be in a house where there was a chance for me to be molested. There was no heat. There was nothing to eat. So I would always be out there trying to find something to eat and to bring back to my family. So me being a sports fan, I saw a poster on a pole, and it said, uh, Jose Perez is coming to this little small church on King Street, and there's going to be music. There's going to be food. Now, me being hungry, I want to go for food, and I was thinking Jose Perez was the former shortstop for the Phillies, Juan Perez. I'm going to see a baseball player.
Mm.
Well, I went there. I realized that you couldn't get the food until after the service was over, and that evangelist Perez, he's been on the 700 Club. He's a founder of Wide World Evangelistic Ministries. They work with drug addicts. They give away food for Christmas. They give away food for Thanksgiving. Pretty much what I'm doing now. This is where this vision came from. So he said, if you need a change in your life, God can change your life. There's hope for you. And me, even at the age of 10 years old, that rang to me. I wanted to change. I needed something different. I always believed there was something bigger than me because I was inquisitive. I was kind of like Sid the Science Kid. I wanted to know everything about everything. So I wanted to change. So I went up there and I received the Lord and I got my hot dog. Listened to good music and got my hot dog. Now, after I received the Lord, they had something called a follow-up team, the Way of Life team, follow-up team. So as soon as I came from the makeshift altar in the parking lot, they came to get my information so that they can follow up on me.
Mm.
So of course I gave it to them. And these people would come to my house on a weekly basis for this 10-year-old little boy for Bible study. I would run out the back door sometimes. I would hide. One time they sent this big burly man who's a pastor now himself for the Way of Life team, and he knocked on the door with his Rite Aid security uniform on. And all my ghetto gangster family members came to the door asking, what's this cop doing here looking for Cliffy? That's what they called me.
Okay.
And he was just trying to follow up on me under the orders of Pastor Slaffy because that was one of the ministries that he had at the church. And he caught me one day and he said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. God has a plan for you.
Mm.
And he will do anything to get your attention for that plan. You're special. He said to me, and I remember this as if it was yesterday. He said to me, God will take something precious from you to get your attention because he has a plan for you. And he left.
Mm.
Shortly after that, I was one of the only dark complected children in my blended family. On my mother's side, they used to make fun of me. They called me Blackie because my mother's mother's children, they were all light complected.
Mm.
We had different fathers, and my sister, she had a son, and he was dark complected, so she named him after me. So shortly after he said that to me, little Cliffy, I woke up in the middle of the night and tried to get into my sister's room. We had no locks on our doors. We barely had doors. We had no windows.
Mm.
Like I said, it was what we call an abandonmenium. And I couldn't get in. I went and banged on my mother's door and I said, Mom, I can't get into my sister's room and little Cliffy is not crying. So my mother, she was a big woman. She was really known in the streets. They used to call her Polo from the ghetto, and she had a reputation. Like I said, she had a speakeasy. She would run pills. She would have me getting pills from a crooked doctor in South Philly and delivering them to different people coming from Harrisburg, things of that nature.
Wow.
So she busted in the door, and we found little Cliffy stuck between the bed and the wall, blue in the face. His head was smashed in, and he died.
Oh gosh.
So when I saw that scene at the age of 10, I jumped out of the second floor window.
Wow.
But God had a plan for me, and He spared me, and I'm here today. So with that happening, there was a lot of conflict with the little Cliffy's father and my sister, and so back in that day they would call it gang warring. My family was gang warring against, the baby's father, and they were chasing. There was guns involved, and at that time, this little small church was having vacation Bible school. So I ran to that church. I had no shirt on, my snotty nose, dirty, nappy head little boy, and explained to Pastor Slaffy what was going on. And he said to me, "You're coming to my house. I'll talk to your mother. You don't need to be around that violence." So he was taking me to his house. He took me to his house. Vacation Bible school was a week event. So the next day, when my stepfather approached him with a gun, said, "Who are you taking my son?" And he was just my stepfather. "Who do you think you are?" And the pastor, he stood firmly under faith, and he spoke to him. And my stepfather said, "No problem." He let him happen. With that little event, I stayed with this man, and this man taught me, educated me, and they would have different ministries because he was a champion for the poor people. So even though he retired from the post office, left the post office, not making much money, living on faith, his mission was to reach people that other people thought was unreachable or would not want to reach. And so they had these programs. They gave away turkeys. They gave away food. They gave away Christmas toys. They gave away clothing. They sent us to camp. And so that's how Wide Expectations grew. From 1983, that seed was planted. So now what we're doing, I'm just passing the blessings that was passed to me because I know there's people like me. Now I'm self-employed. I've had the opportunity to go to college. I play college football. I'm gifted in music. Played 13 different musical instruments, read and write music.
Wow, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Because someone who didn't know me
Right.
invested in my life.
Could you
And
talk
so
about
that's
the
what we do.
I got 5 on it? I really loved what you said last night about that.
Yeah. So I got 5 on it as a street term. Before marijuana was legal, and young people would say, "Yo, what you got on it? What you got on it? What you got on it? What you got on it?" And it became a popular song. I got 5 on it, and so it was catchy. So I got 5 on this. Everyone's complaining. Everyone's hurting. People need a lot of things. Everyone needs something. You need something. I need something. Everyone needs something. The most important thing that people need, I don't care, the most hardened criminal, the most convicted criminal, the most heinous murderer, they all needed to love something or wanted love from something or somebody. Why are people on drugs? Because they love drugs. You understand?
Yes.
Why do people risk life and injury to sell drugs? Because they love the lifestyle. Because you can't tell me there's a better opportunity selling drugs where you have to risk, especially in this day and age, getting killed. You have to risk going to jail for a very, very long time.
Right.
You can't say that's a better lifestyle than having an honest job. But they do it because they love it. There's people that, and you might not believe me, but there's people that love going to jail.
Really?
They love it.
That's interesting.
That's part of their lifestyle. That's where I come from, and
Okay.
I'm the person. Like in the Bible in Romans, Paul said he would become anything, not to save all, but to save one. So it takes somebody who's willing to become that person to save that person. If I want to be delivered from alcoholism, who better to teach me than somebody who's a former alcoholic?
Of course.
I don't want to talk to somebody that doesn't understand the demons of going through heroin addiction, withdrawal.
Sure.
I want to talk to someone who went through heroin withdrawal.
Right. Yeah.
They're the one
Right.
that can tell me how to get through it. So we need people who got $5 on it. If you got $5, if you got $500, if you got 5 minutes, it takes 5 minutes to wrap one gift. Come in, wrap a gift, sign the name from Chris, from Mike in the morning.
Yes. I do want to stop by. I come to this location that's on here, right?
Well, what happened is, see, we're an organization without walls. See, Jesus' ministry was not in the church. Jesus went to the street. When he did go to the temple, he chastised them because they were gambling. It was a business. We're an organization without walls. So our people are outside. We want to go to the people that need help. I don't know if you know Kensington and Allegheny. They just did a video in Mexico, and they used the image from Kensington and Allegheny to show the effects of drugs.
I did see that.
We're going to Kensington, not just this year. We did it last year on Thanksgiving. We're going to Kensington, partnering with a church here in Philadelphia. Shout out to Pastor Tynes. They volunteered. They have never met them. They volunteered that they will prepare 500 lunches for us to distribute it in Kensington, Allegheny.
That's beautiful.
So it's about all of us come together. You got 5. We need wrapping paper. Bring 5 rolls of wrapping paper. We need tape. Bring 5 rolls of tape. We're feeding the homeless. We need bread. Anything you have, anything that you can donate, I guarantee you, I know someone who can use it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what you're doing. And we'll definitely have to connect after the show. I'd love to spend some more time with you.
Yeah, and I'm hoping you guys can follow us. I'm hoping you guys can see this thing come to fruition. Last year we did 1,000 people. This year we on pace to do 10,000. But we need sponsors. We need help. We need people that are willing to wrap gifts. We need people who are willing to bring magic markers, bring some crayons. We're partnering with the Ronald McDonald House, Salvation Army, orphanages. We're going to the neighborhood to feed people. We're giving turkeys. Not only
how do we come back together? With everything that's going on in the city, how do we get people to?
Well, the way we come together is you put 5 on it. Put 5 on it. Put 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks, $5, 5 toys.
It adds up.
5 turkeys to someone that you don't know, and just write your name. Mike in the Morning Show. This is from us to whoever, because half of the people we don't even know. I don't know any of them.
Right.
But I have a list right now of 500 kids that are going to have toys. We are partnering with a church that has a program where parents who are in prison, we're going to have toys to give to their kids on behalf of their parents that are in prison. You know what I mean? It's working with youth, but in order to build youth, they have to have the structure. You have to help. If the parents are not okay, no matter how much you work with the youth, they still have to go home to those parents. So we have to work with the youth and work with their parents as well.
Makes sense, and thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, I really enjoyed meeting you last night, and sometimes things are meant to be and happen for a reason. And I'm glad that you were able to make it on the show tonight with us. And really appreciate you sharing your story in such intimate detail, and it gives us insight into what you had to deal with growing up, and you chose a righteous and a good path, and I think that's the example for so many people listening right now to choose the hard right against the easy wrong.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't mind if I steal that one from you.
You can. Yes.
So if anyone wants to donate toys, if they want to donate food, napkins, plates, paper clips, staples, they can reach us at Wide Expectations, WWYDE Expectations, traditional spelling, all lowercase levels at gmail.com. Our telephone number is 267-900-7712. And they can just type the same spelling, Wide Expectations, and follow us on Facebook and like us on Instagram.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Clifford, for making time to be on the show. I definitely look forward to connecting with you again in the future. And God bless.
All right. Thank you.
Peace and love, my friend.
Same to you. God bless you.
Thank you. Have a good night. All right, folks. Well, there we have it. Wow. A couple of amazing guests tonight. Welcome back, Michael. I know you had to get an emergency call or something.
Yeah.
Everything all right? Probably not.
It will be. I think the police would have common courtesy when they put a warrant on your guy to call you back, right?
Right. And
so getting everything set up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know you've been incredibly busy lately. It's the crazy world we're living in. So much going on out there.
It's 6 cases, 6 counties, 4 days this week.
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing it.
Yeah.
But thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah, right. That's right.
So
I'm glad it's in a lot of ways. I'm glad it's you. But some interesting folks here. Clifford just went over his organization and had shared some heartfelt stuff with us. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of an echo there. I think Russ is going to work on that a little bit tomorrow. But some pretty wild stuff that he had been through, and he chose a good path, really positive path, helping people out. He talked about his organization. We got a flyer here from him.
wideexpectations@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Donate 5 toys and 5 turkeys.
Yes.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah. I would like to get together with them. Maybe go wrap some gifts for the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas coming up.
I know.
Still got a few weeks, so we got plenty of time to get them some stuff.
Or 5 bowls of mustard, as Russ just said. Yeah.
5 bowls of mustard. Maybe we could have something where everybody brings 5 of something, and we all meet.
Okay.
In the morning Christmas gathering.
Let's do it. Yeah, even if we have to do it quick somewhere where we can all be in attendance and I can bring the stuff over, or we could find out where they're going to be. Yeah. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We will make it happen.
All right. I'm sure Liberty has 9 million things she'd like to talk about, so we'll do a little bit of a rapid fire.
Okay.
And hear what's on the agenda. I think I see Russ looking at some stuff. So, Russ, what do we got tonight?
I just have the doc open.
So, what do we got?
Hang on. I will bring it on screen. Doodly doodly doo.
Oh, I love how she was saying and she was gathering up all the stuff about this story about the North Philly armed security.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about it, but instead we just talked to the guy. Chris went out and found him.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Why don't we see up there in that segment up there, Russ?
Yeah.
Towards the top where she put all the stuff about the armed security.
Yeah.
Let me zoom out here.
I'm going to use the facilities real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Be right back after these words.
What are we?
Look at the Twitter where you see people's reactions. So I guess.
Okay, so this first one. So we have one. I guess it's just a tweet, and then another one that is with a video. Do you want to see the video one?
Nope. Look at the tweet because I want to see how people are reacting to this.
Okay. Oh wow, that's zoomed in a lot. Oh, give me a sec. Okay. No, Twitter, I don't want your smelly notifications. Okay. North Philly owner says
Does
he's
this
had
make you feel safer or uncomfortable? I want to see what people are saying. Can you do me a favor and full screen that? Just give me the whole screen on that. People need to see my face while I'm reacting.
Yeah, hang on. So let's go full screen.
There you go. So go on down. I want to see what people have commented. Oh, we know that guy.
Hey, I know that guy. Okay. This guy.
So somebody is obviously pro security. Go on down.
Real men don't need guns. Isn't that right, mommy?
Snowflakington.
Oh man.
Why would it make you feel uncomfortable? And then Punish Nixon says libs are afraid of law-abiding black men with guns.
Ah, jeez, smelly Twitter.
See more replies.
Here we go. Yeah, see more reply. I hate that I have to keep on clicking it. Hopefully Elon changes that.
Keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
So there were like 80 replies.
It makes them feel uncomfortable because they have weapons that can kill me. If even one of those men gets edgy and escalates a shaky situation, I might die. The only people who should carry guns are the police. That's got to be a troll, no?
Or somebody who just doesn't pay attention.
No, that's got to be a troll or a bot. The username's got like 9 numbers on the end. That usually means that it's a bot, right?
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know how to determine who's a bot.
So they asked. We're trying to see the reaction to Andre and the guys.
Yeah.
And someone said, "Does it make you feel safe or uncomfortable?" And somebody said, "Why would it make you feel uncomfortable?" And this person says, "Because they have weapons that can kill me."
Oh.
If even one of those men, and why is men in quotes?
Is it in the comments or something?
Yeah.
Is this the same person who posted?
Oh, I see.
Where'd it go? I wonder
why
if
would it make you feel uncomfortable?
Never mind.
Well, I was actually I was a bit shocked at the way some people were talking to these gentlemen. I was inside talking to CJ, and a couple guys walked in, and right away they started yelling over at him like, "Hey, is that thing loaded? That thing real?" You know. And then they were like, "Hey, can I shoot it? I want to take it outside. Let me shoot it." And I'm thinking, like, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone or something. I'm like, and then
what?
They wanted to, so, he was doing a pretty good job of ignoring it and kind of de-escalating it. But some of these people were just not very respectful, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Just became the safest city.
Yeah.
Somebody said I'd probably go someplace else if I didn't know what was going on. Would also go someplace else if I were a criminal, though. Okay.
That's true. They generally will go somewhere else. Yeah.
Says they got there's a meme of Superman that says I fight crime everywhere except North Philly. F that S.
Yeah.
It seems like most of the comments are
very
positive. Finally, someone doing something to protect their property and customers. Another person I would pay more out of respect to that owner.
Yeah.
Somebody says who, where. I don't know. They missed the whole story.
Yeah.
Why would it make someone feel uncomfortable? Those guys are there to protect people. Why didn't you ask if customers feel uncomfortable out of fear of being mugged, shot, or carjacked?
Right? Oh, man.
Yeah, everybody seems to be positive except that one person is probably it's got to be a bot or a troll.
Probably. Who wants
to fill the gas tank with an armed guard standing over you? Honestly, it looks like a place being robbed.
No, I think it'd be a lot different if the place is being robbed.
What's interesting is, people are sort of used to seeing guards at certain places, like some banks have it, or some places at the mall, like, high-end jewelry stores, Jewelers Row, for example. I don't know. But I think the statistic that he used about the carjackings was pretty important. And a lot of those videos, like when we had Jose on that time, we were talking about that carjacking that took place at the gas station. It's definitely a prime target area. So
Someone says because that doesn't fit the anti-gun narrative or create hype for ratings.
And somebody says liberals aren't anti-gun, we're pro-gun control. Not listening is y'all's favorite pastime. Spelled incorrectly.
there you go.
But what kind of gun control?
Using both hands.
Because it seems like they're never satisfied, and it's never been controlled to their liking, right?
Well, it hasn't been under their control, is what it comes down to. There's too much.
That's what it's all about. It's all about control.
Yeah.
All right.
So somebody says, "Hold on, go up."
Oh,
because I want to read the negative comments.
Okay.
And it says nothing about this is saying safe place to do business. I'm curious if the owner has proper insurance to do this. Maybe the local government should check on that. Philly is not Somalia. Do people really want this to be the new normal?
He must.
No, we'd like getting carjacked at the pump to be the new normal. That would be much better.
Sorry, I'd rather be carjacked and kidnapped. And
apparently, he has no idea what's
other
going on.
Already illegal things.
Well, the local government had their chance to respond.
Oh yeah, it's like Andre said. He's like, you got 8 years, dude.
Right, right.
And the cops are too busy. Like, oh yeah, we'll block traffic and let you do donuts around my car.
Right.
I love donuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy being down there, especially now. It's just really gotten so much worse. And
so we should have that guy go pump gas over there with Andre, and then without Andre.
You're right. Exactly.
Okay, we'll tell Andre to go home, then go pump gas there. Go hang out there for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right.
Without the armed guards.
Yeah, it's quite the sight to see. Yeah.
I mean, they're there to protect you. Like,
yeah. And this guy's running a business. He's got a nice little shop and he's got gas. I mean,
why would they do that?
And the owner was very nice. The manager in there was very thoughtful and just looking out for his customers, Be a lot easier to give in and just shut down. I mean, that's what some of these other places are doing. We've seen that with Wawa. So,
right.
But he's standing up to it.
Isn't that a shame?
It is a shame. I love Wawa, but they had to close down. It's crazy.
This person says, "I'd rather live in Somalia than Philly." I spent a weekend there one night. That I mean that says quite a bit as far as the current state that it's in.
Show more replies.
And it's needed. These guards.
We did this a while back. I think it was probably within my first few months on the air. A buddy of mine out in Arizona had sent me this article that one of the South American countries had issued a warning to their citizens saying you should stay away from these high crime cities in the United States of America.
The no-go zones, right?
Yeah, stay out of these American cities because they're far too dangerous. I think it was like Venezuela or something like that. They're like, hey, we know it's so safe over here, but don't, if you're going to go to the States, stay out of these places.
Right.
And I just had a feeling that these places were going to be all Democrat cities. And I actually went back and looked it up. And I think it was every one of them had Democrat mayors for at least 5 decades or something.
Is that right?
There might have been one exception. I think it was Sacramento. They elected a Republican mayor like 10 years ago or something like that, 15 years ago. But every other city that was on that list was Democrat and had been Democrat within, any reasonable measure of time. He's been Democrat forever.
Yeah, well, how do people not see what's going on and they're still voting for these people? I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on at this point, but just don't want to see it.
Andre said they want free stuff.
Right on. Right on. If it's free, it's for me.
Okay, so this is ha ha ha, dude, you're a joke. 400 homicides in Philly alone. The last I checked as of October. You want the government to check on this guy to make sure he's protecting his own business, but not check on all the crime that led to this.
GTFO.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting reading the comments. Yeah. You get a good sense of what's going on out there in people's heads. Yeah.
Russ, you're gonna have to crop down the screen. I was just looking on the right for trending in the United States. On the right.
Oh, where's that?
No.
Should I zoom out then?
No, if you scroll down.
Okay. That's as down as it goes.
Chris, you paying attention?
What's that? I'm sorry. Somebody was texting.
Trending in the United States on the right.
Trending in the United States on the right.
The Game Awards.
It's a family show.
Right. Yeah, I guess you can't say that one.
Oh, that one.
Why don't you go back on the tweet, Russ? That back button next to tweet.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah, because we want to see more comments.
All right, let's see.
Go back again.
I need to go back again. Nope. Alt left. That's the back button. Okay.
Uncomfortable, but I definitely get it. This is what our city looks like under Kenny Krasner and the city council that have waved the white flag on crime. If our city leaders became serious on crime, this gas station owner wouldn't have to take such a drastic step. Somebody says safer. North Philadelphia is Beirut in the 1980s. Somebody says give it 3 days for the mayor to have that guy removed. Yeah. Oh, that was on December 5th, and today's the 8th, so this is 3 days.
Looks like you lose that bet.
Our city officials aren't doing anything, so whatever this business owner needs to do, I support that. Somebody says absolutely. If the city refuses to protect you and DA won't prosecute, you got to do what you got to do. Go down.
Well, that's
we should just do this every week. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, avoid Philadelphia. Well, I mean, how many more stories have to be on national news, for them to finally do something? But
somebody says I'd like to see their vests marked more clearly, but this is fine. Not gonna lie, I feel better on armed private security when walking by high-end stores or armored trucks. People don't mess around within their eye line.
Mm-hmm.
What does he want their vests to say?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
The vest should say, I'm carrying a gun.
Could somebody explain that to me? Am I missing something?
Not sure.
See more replies.
Yeah. Okay.
What's happening?
Show more. I wish Twitter would just load more replies. That'd be great. Get on that, Elon.
It's weird to me. Comments reflect that we are more uncomfortable of those who have been hired to protect you, them as a customer, during those that wish to cause harm. I don't know what that was. I think I know what that person was trying to say.
I think some autocorrect mess with that.
And somebody replied to it, sorry, but what? I just don't understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Godzilla and died.
TV guy said Broad and Allegheny, closest gas station I know. That corner is a block away at Broad and Clearfield. Where is it, Chris?
You said Broad, Allegheny, Chestnut Gas. I know that. I'd have to look up the address in there. Let me see. It was at. It is Broad and I'm trying to remember the cross street.
Clearfield.
Clearfield. Yes, that's where I was. But one of the things he said, hey, go down when you leave here, go down a couple blocks and check out one of the other gas stations because there'll be all kinds of stuff going on, and I did do that. I thought about getting out and maybe talking to some folks, but the way the neighborhood is right now, I mean, I just wasn't really in the mood for it. Otherwise I might have, but I just kind of had enough.
Thought better of it.
Yeah, and that too, I suppose. But yeah, there was quite a bit going on at that gas station, and literally just a few blocks away. And the manager, you know, at the gas station there, when I was there last night, was telling me what it was like a few weeks back before these gentlemen came on board to offer their services. And literally there were drug deals going on inside the store, you know, theft on a daily basis, vandalism. His car's been vandalized a bunch of times. So it's just a nightmare.
Somebody said I'd actually go out of my way to shop there.
Yeah.
There's armed security.
Guys, if you click on the other Twitter with the video in the doc, you can see the owner, Mr. Patel, explains what was going on.
Oh, okay, cool. That'd be good.
All right, here we go.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
hang on.
Mike G in the morning. Hey now.
Twitter feels the need to autoplay, but without audio. I don't know why.
Heavily armed security guards now stand at this Carco gas station in North Philadelphia along Broad Street near Allegheny.
What do you got there? This is an AR-15 shotgun.
Armed with long rifles and tactical gear, the owner of the gas station hired a security after mounting problems in and around the store.
Lately, we are completely tired from this all nuisance. Stealing, robbery, ATM missing.
Neil Patel is the gas station manager who showed us what vandals even did to his own car.
3 weeks ago, they cut my tire. I fixed that. Then they broke my bumper. I fixed that. And I fixed that. Next day, did this.
Vandals breaking his windshield. In the store, bags of food thrown on the floor. He says people selling drugs on the property are a constant threat. And many times, calls to police go unanswered.
Middle of the night, nobody feels safe. And we are completely losing a lot of customers.
It's out of control. What we have now going on in the city of Philadelphia is chaos. The criminals have the keys to the city.
Andre Boyer heads PA Site Agency Security. He says since they started security detail here 3 weeks ago, customers have expressed their gratitude, and the manager says problems have gone away.
People want change. People deserve it. And I'm telling you, the people are very grateful to the owner for doing this.
I really feel like that's the very best thing they could ever do.
You feel safer here with an armed security guard at the gas station?
Yeah. You can't pump gas. You can't run in the store.
Andre popping back in.
Your mom can't get off the bus stop and just go home at night without something happening.
To be honest, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, but I'd rather us be safe than sorry.
One business now taking drastic measures to keep their customers safe in Philadelphia. Johnny Archer, NBC 10 News.
I might do a segment next week where I use that guy's voice, you know. This is Philly Chris on site with Site Security. Just being funny. What were you saying, Mike?
It says, hey now, guys, security is PA site, but I could not find any info. He said he was, no, he's not with the government. It's a private company.
Yeah. I didn't realize those guys could make arrest. Is that something under Act 235, Mike? Are you familiar with what he was referring to there with, right?
What, shopkeeper's privilege?
Or no, like arresting. I guess he was saying he can arrest people. Although is that the whole like citizen's arrest? Is that like a true thing?
Don't do that.
Yeah. But under Act 235, do they have that capacity? Do you know? That might be outside.
There's something called shopkeeper's privilege. I don't want
to. Okay.
Let's not go too far into that.
All right. Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, I had his website up the other day before you even spoke to him.
Looks like, oh, Mike, you can find that in your history. Just use Control H. And then, yeah. Do we want to play this video?
Hold on. Let me see if I can get this website.
Okay.
It is
Baseball.
PA Site stateagent.com.
PAStateagent.com.
That's the website.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay. Shut up and go away.
That's them.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Does this look correct?
Because if you go to their Google My Business profile, it's got a picture of Andre on there.
All right.
So that's where I clicked on it. It's got him wearing a nice suit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got to be it. PA site state agent. Right?
Nice. Yeah, that's right.
PA site state agent.
Licensed Pennsylvania protection agent. Yeah.
Site.
SITE.
He's got a good number of people working for him and expanding, obviously.
PASITE state. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. That's a bit different than what I had up.
Yeah. Go scroll down.
Okay.
Keep going. Right there. That's the badge that you see them wearing right there, right?
Mm-hmm. That was it. Yeah, that's definitely his website.
They're not government. It's a private company, right?
That's right.
What did he call them again? He said they weren't security
agents.
They were
state agents, I think, is what he's saying. Agents of the state or something like that. I guess that's part of the Act 235. I did ask them. They're Act 235. I don't know if there's something else. But...
What were you saying? What was he saying that they're not? How did he describe it? They're not security. They're
like security detail. And they're armed. You know, he said instead of like a lot of security guards who are not armed.
Yeah, but he called it something when we were on because I asked him what he meant by that.
Yeah.
If you're not security, exactly what are you? We're protected. Something like that. He said something about they protect people.
Special agent.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the website if you want to see it. The protectors, Scott. There you go.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Hey now, Scott.
Not security, they're protectors.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
No, they were very active on site. There were some folks who came over and sort of were testing the boundaries, if you will, and the limits. And CJ stepped in right away and did ask some folks to leave. So they're not fooling around.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
So what else we got? Twitter and Hunter Biden's laptop.
See what happens.
Would those be called the Twitter files?
The Twitter files.
The Twitter files, yeah.
That's
I hate to say it, but I'm going to go out there and say it. That was not the most efficient way to release everything. Did you sit there and read like the 9 million tweets?
I haven't seen a lot of it. I heard about a lot of it, but yeah, maybe you're right. It's hard to sit there and look through it all. I don't know.
Yeah, and Twitter's not the best.
Is anything really going to be done? Is the question.
Well, the last time, maybe I can call it into existence because when we talked about the Cuomo situation, if you recall,
that's right.
I kept saying he's not going to get in trouble and nothing's going to happen to him.
Exactly. Yeah. So now something will.
He did get in some trouble, right? Having to resign and everything like that.
Yeah. This is true.
I don't know if it's the type of trouble that he should have gotten into.
I saw Chris Cuomo's broadcasting on a different network. I forgot what it was, but yeah, he's back on the air, as far as I know.
So my prediction is Hunter Biden's not going to get in trouble, and nothing's going to happen to him.
Right.
Well, what do you think? What else do you think is going to come out of the Twitter files? Because from what I understand, there's more to be released. Hopefully, they won't release it on Twitter itself because that's dumb.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I remember when WikiLeaks did a thing. They did it over what's called a torrent, which is normally used for mainly piracy, but a torrent is a peer-to-peer. So instead of going through cloud servers and whatnot, is directly to someone's computer. And it's not always used for things like piracy.
Yep, I remember like LimeWire was a big thing back in the day.
What about what if they had a live stream video where somebody talks about what's going on, and then on the bottom of that they release the one by one stuff?
That would be good.
Include it in case somebody wants to read it.
Be a little more captivating, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think what they ought to do is release it in many more forms. So maybe release if there's I guess emails, you could release screen caps. You could release, you know, everything in a I guess a Word document, and just have different ways for people to view it for their preferred.
Yeah. The only issue is
I
I'm
don't
sure
want to
they
scroll
want
Twitter
the
forever.
numbers. They want the numbers for the engagement and the content, right? Like if we were putting something big out there, we'd want to get credit for all the views and everything. We wouldn't want it on 9 different ways you can look at it.
Right.
We'd want all of our listeners, our viewers in a concentrated area. So I get that. But I think the cure to that is you do a live stream and you comment underneath it so everybody's in the same place.
Maybe we could do a readout on it.
If everything's in one place, then and you can download it, the easy way to track that would be number of downloads. Because you know that's how they do it in like the Google Play and the App Store is, you know, this app has so many downloads. That's, you know, and they have ratings too, but you know, the downloads and the ratings, that's the value of the interaction.
Gotcha.
So what about Liberty put something in there? Brittany Griner released in exchange for arms dealer, Russian arms dealer.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't have a chance to really look into it. But
They
yeah, I
made a
guess
trade.
They made a trade, right?
Somebody was complaining, saying that Russia also has.
Yeah, there was another person I think we were originally asking for, but
veteran they're trying to get back. And
hasn't she been very critical of the U.S.?
Yes.
Yes. Wonder how she'll speak of the U.S. when she comes back.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, somebody being critical of the United States shouldn't be. That's our right to be critical.
Well, you're right. I suppose you're absolutely 100% correct.
So I wouldn't say, well, you talk bad about the government, so now
I mean, I'm critical of it too, so I would fall in that same category.
Yeah, you're very critical. We're gonna send Philly Chris to Russian jail. And we're like, he's critical of the government. He's always talking about Darfador. And
I don't think they would want me back. Yeah. I'll be hanging out with Snowden somewhere.
Yeah.
We could have some conversations.
All right. What else? Anything else before we go?
I think I'm good. Thank you.
Liberty dropped a link in the back channel chat. Don't know how I'm going to bring that up on screen. Give me a sec.
We're good. It's about the exchange for Brittany Griner and everything.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us again. It's good to see everybody. That's all the time we got for today. Stick around for We the People, the Constitution Matters. Pastor David Whitney, Professor Philadelphia. I'll be joining as your legal analyst. We miss you, Ellie. Daddy loves you.